What happens when you take an engine just powerful enough to earn praise in a big 3-row family crossover and you squeeze it into something small enough to street park in San Francisco? Well, we found out last fall when we tested the turbocharged Mazda 3, but now it's February, we just had a snowstorm, I'm looking for a little more ground clearance. Enter the 2021 newly turbocharged Mazda CX-30. First things first, first things first, if you like car reviews, don't forget to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel, and then hit the bell so you get a notification for every one of our new videos. I'd say we're a pretty fun group, and we publish new content every single week. Second thing second, the subcompact crossover class is not exactly the value meal of the automotive marketplace. In fact, you can often get more space for not really any more cash by shopping a size up. And in fact, this is the second subcompact crossover I've driven with a price tag north of $35,000, which puts it squarely in luxury car territory. Now, Mazda says its turbocharged engine is up for the task, but I say let's find out. This 2.5-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine is Mazda's secret weapon in its fight to move up market. And while there is more to a luxury car than just a good engine, I cannot deny that this is a good engine. The power delivery is effortless in pretty much every scenario, largely because the meat of the power band exists between 2,500 and 4,000 RPM, which is where you do most of your driving. Max figures ring in at 250 horses and 320 pound-feet of torque, but you need to run on premium fuel for those. With regular fuel, you get 227 and 310, but again, the peak numbers are right where you want them. The 6-speed automatic transmission offers paddle shifters. The steering feels heavy compared to some of its more electronically assisted rivals, but it's beautifully precise. The powertrain and the chassis are tuned perfectly to handle the corners. The only shortcoming is found in the car's body style. The taller ride height means this car rolls enough through turns that I wouldn't be worried about finding the CX-30's tire limit. Luckily, the brakes inspire confidence. They're not squishy, nor are they grabby. They deliver just the right amount of force depending on how hard you press the pedal. It's like it's wired directly into your brain. There's not that much road noise either, particularly at lower speeds. I guess if you get up onto the highway or you're driving in a really heavy wind, you'll hear a slight roar. This is where my job gets easy. The 2021 Mazda CX-30, it's almost identical to the car we tested last year. But that's good, and not just because it means less work for me. This is a good-looking car. The thin headlights, this dramatic stop to the hood's curve and the wide-open mouth, and then this chrome strip that runs under the grille and the headlights, it all does a nice job of drawing your eyes upward from this space, which is admittedly a bit unsightly. Down the side, in this color, the black plastic cladding is hardly noticeable. A CX-30 in red won't look this cohesive, even if the shade is more exciting. Between the black plastic cladding and these chrome roof rails, this car has a little bit of adventure to it. Now, the CX-30 Turbo comes with black wheels, and yes, black wheels look cool, but they're impossible to keep clean. Now, at the rear, the CX-30 kind of falls apart a little bit. The delicate horizontal design elements mixed with the car's raised height, well, it ends up looking like the taillights and the Mazda logo are just, they're mounted too high on the car. But despite all this, I cannot deny that this is still one of the best looking cars in its class. It's just hard to make a really good looking subcompact crossover. The Subaru Crosstrek nails utilitarian, the Hyundai Kona looks cutting edge, and the Hyundai Venue is adorable, and the Toyota CHR looks like it was run through a blender. The Mazda CX-30 looks elegant. It would look more elegant if Mazda dropped the plastic. This is how you do contrast stitching. The brown details are barely visible against the black upholstery, but taken all at once, it gives an otherwise dark, drab interior lovely depth and character, and the seats feel good too. This car is definitely better suited for trimmer drivers because these bolsters are snug even on me, and I have the the physique of an Olympic athlete. Overall, the interior space is driver-centric and beautifully designed. There are plenty of soft-touch materials above the belt line. You'll be hard-pressed to find a car in this one's price range that runs leather like this all the way to the floor. The center console is beautiful, upholstered in brown over black leather, with this long central bin, classy rotary dial, and a smaller one for volume, and the leather boot around the gear selector. It looks premium. It's also highly impractical. There's some space under the armrest, but good luck fitting what you want up here. And the back seat is a cave.
Buy this car if you have a dog, not if you have 3 kids.
The center transmission tunnel makes the middle seat pretty much unusable for adults. Mazda has scalloped some extra headroom out of the roof, but just barely. And similarly, the front seat backs are soft and they're scalloped for knee room, but they feel like they are right there. Overall, there's just a lot of body panels in here. And while I like these little windows, they don't do much to help me feel less claustrophobic. On the safety front, the CX-30 comes pretty well equipped. Adaptive cruise is managed via these buttons, and it works pretty well. It doesn't slam on the brakes when you merge in behind someone, and it also doesn't gun the engine when the road clears up ahead. There's also traffic jam assist, which we covered in our review of the 2021 Mazda 3. Basically, this adds lane centering assist to adaptive cruise, but it's not a self-driving system. It's only in effect at speeds up to 40 miles per hour. It's not self-driving. Keep your hands on the wheel. In fact, Mazda's whole approach to safety is kind of antithetical to the idea of self-driving cars. These systems don't replace the driver. They support the driver. And similarly, the infotainment system was also designed with safety in mind. The screen sits atop the dash and it's not a touchscreen. You just get this rotary controller between the seats. Overall, it works fine. In the past 6 months, I've spent a grand total of 3 weeks in cars with this system. And that's not a ton of time, but I've still gotten pretty used to it. So it'll take some time, it'll take a minute, but you will get comfortable with this system. Here's a tip though. Set your presets for the best radio experience. Browsing through channels is a nightmare, requiring multiple clicks. What else? Well, the navigation has a cool current effect on bodies of water, but there's a lot of unused blank space around the display, and there are permanent little icons like this one that disrupt the car's minimalist feel. Mazda kind of makes a big deal about the Bose stereo in this car. It's good. 12 speakers, the sound is crisp and bright. Apparently this car, like the Mazda 3, was designed specifically with this stereo in mind, so the audio engineers didn't have to compromise on speaker placement. And that means that this sounds just about as good as it can possibly sound. Now, it's not otherworldly. You're not going to confuse this for a true luxury audio system, like a Bowers & Wilkins that you'd find in the Volvo V90, or one of those Meridian systems that you find in a Range Rover. The trunk of a Mazda CX-30 offers a whopping 1/10 of a cubic foot more space than a Mazda 3 hatchback. And if you fold down the seats of those two cars, you actually get more space in the Mazda 3, 47.1 cubic feet versus 45.2. And that brings us to the price of this bad boy, $35,995 after options and destination. Is a lot of money for a Mazda, and if you were gonna tell me that you just spent that kind of money on a car with less space than a hatchback, I'd assume it was either a sports car or a luxury car, or you were insane. But then that's kind of the thing with Mazda these days. With the Premium Plus package's option list, and with that juicy nectarine of an engine, I mean, the CX-30 kind of has a claim at a luxury tag. And now not all CX-30s can say this. The base car is not nearly this nice. But those trims also don't cost $30,000 plus. With this strategy, Mazda has hands in both cookie jars. It wants the meaty profit margins of a luxury brand, but it also can't give up the volume of cost-conscious shoppers who undoubtedly help keep the lights on at headquarters. It's the modern automotive marketplace's chicken or the egg quandary. Someday, Mazda may go full luxury, but it's hard to see the brand developing enough top dollar cachet while it still continues to sell mass market vehicles. So let us know in the comments, is this CX-30 overpriced or are Mazda's other models just underpriced? Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.